What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 763 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you from Underground Studios. Intern Jacob joining us along for this ride to get your week started in the right direction here as you're listening to this on another marvelous Monday. We got a fun one for you. We're going to talk some Phils as they win another series. I believe if I'm correct, it is their 22nd series win of the season. That's all you got to do, folks. You got to win the series. That's all that matters. A lot of trade rumors swirling about. We'll head to the trade pirate ship, if you will, and see where those trade winds are blowing us. And then we will also do some underground stats and info. Jacob and I are going to play into the trends of what's popping in the pop culture world right now as the Fantastic Four debuted in theaters. I got a chance to go see the movie. It's awesome. Definitely go watch it. Highly recommend. We're going to build our Philly sports Fantastic Four team. Dick Allen got inducted into the Hall of Fame. We'll talk some of the Hall of Fame inductees as well. And the Philadelphia Union just continue to tear it up and be the best goddamn team in Major League Soccer. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials. We're on every social platform at Underground PHI, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook. We are on every platform. You can follow me at KBIZZL311 because with this trade deadline rolling around, I will be actively tweeting and doing a lot of stuff covering the trade deadline that you won't want to miss. So definitely tap in there if you so choose. Subscribe to the pod, subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow. Plus, it helps all of our shows on the network continue to grow and allows us to do more dope stuff with and for you guys. So keep subscribing on audio platforms to the podcast and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, every single week, full video episodes of every show on our network, except for the brand new Pat Pitts hosted The House Show, which a fantastic premiere week for that show. Definitely go check that out. That has its own YouTube channel that is linked in the description. But subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are 13 subscribers away from a new subscriber milestone, which unlocks a new merch item for you guys on our merch store. Once we get to 1,100 subscribers, Moonshot Mania merch hits the storefront. So leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. Be a friend, tell a friend to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And this show, guys, is proudly presented by the city of Vineland, and the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city, Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. If you're looking for the right location, think Vineland, New Jersey. Our pro-business approach is supported by financial incentives, workforce development programs, and other resources which can give your business a competitive edge. Whether you're starting a new business or expanding to new markets, our business environment, infrastructure, accessibility, and quality of life make Vineland an ideal location. More information about how we can help your business grow can be found at vinelandcity.org. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Philadelphia Phillies have won another series this season, taking 2 out of 3 in the Bronx from the New York Yankees. Honestly, Jacob, I will say it sucked to not win the finale today, and it was a game that they certainly should have won. But overall, a lot to be like thrilled about coming out of this series. I know, they did pretty well against the Red Sox. Taking 2 out of 3 again, should have swept that series as well. Coming off of a very disappointing series against the Angels out of the All-Star break and coming off of a brutal West Coast trip to go into the All-Star break, taking 4 out of 6 from the Red Sox and the Yankees is pretty awesome, and especially in the way that they were able to do it against the Yankees in particular in this weekend series, to kind of have the bats come to life and consistently come to life on Friday night to win that game 12-5, to continue, the bludgeoning on Saturday to win 9-4. Unfortunately, you lose today 4-3 as we record this on Sunday night. But I mean, starting with Friday's game, that was awesome. You go down 2-0 early, and it's like, geez, what are we gonna do? It's Taijuan Walker start. We gotta kind of navigate the waters, and that's nothing against Ty. It's just he's been thrown in this constant seesaw of starting, bullpen, how often, how deep into the game can he go? And honestly, he gave you a lot to go 5 2/3, only 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. And that's the thing, at this point in his career, Taijuan Walker's not a strikeout pitcher. So I'm not all that concerned with his strikeout numbers, but only gave up 6 hits, no walks. That was huge. And for him to go that deep into the game, that's the first time he's gotten out in the 6th inning in quite some time. I think since May. So huge for Taijuan Walker, but you go down 2-0 early, and it's geez, what are we doing here? Then 5th inning rolls around, Phillies bounce back, get 2 of their own, give up 1 in the bottom of the 6th inning, but then the Phillies put up a 4-piece in the 7th, 2 more in the 8th, 4 more in the 9th, and just continued adding on. 14 hits in this game. Trey Turner goes 4 for 5 with 3 runs and a walk, drove in a run as well. Kyle Schwarber, 2 home runs, 3 hits, 4 RBI, 1 walk. Bryce Harper, 0 for 4 with walk. Nick Castellanos goes 2 for 5, scored 2 runs, drove in a run himself. JT Realmuto with just an absolute pop shot of a home run as well in this game. Goes 2 for 3, and you want to talk about somebody who's been hot at the dish lately, it's been JT Realmuto. Max Kepler even got in on the fun, scored a run. He walked in this one. That was a big walk that he had. 0 for 3, though. Otto Kemp, 0 for 4. And Mundo Sosa went 1 for 1 as a pinch hitter in this game. Drove in a run as well. And Bryson Stott, 2 RBI in this game, 1 hit, goes 1 for 5, scored a run. This is the type of production, for lack of better, but this is the type of game that you want to see from this team when Bryce Harper doesn't necessarily have it, but he's in the lineup. Some of the guys at the bottom of the lineup, whether it's Kepler, Otto Kemp, Bryson Stott, even only having 1 hit, when the bottom of the rotation or the bottom of the order isn't necessarily producing, you want to see your big dogs step up, and Nick Castellanos stepped up, JT stepped up, Trey Turner had a phenomenal game, Kyle Schwarber, 2 home runs. That's how you win baseball games. And Brandon Marsh went 1 for 4 in this game as well with a walk. But that's how you win games, is when part of your lineup isn't producing, the big dogs step up. When the big dogs aren't producing, the ancillary pieces, those guys that, the Brandon Marshes, the Edmundo Sosas, Otto Kemp, those guys step up. This is a big game for the big dogs, and you win 12-5. You help Taijuan Walker out. Not a great game from Jordan Romano, but hey, it's kind of been the story of the season. He has these great outings and then kind of blows up a little bit. Orion Kerkering had a pretty solid outing. Tanner Banks got out of trouble for Ty in that 6th inning. Daniel Robert closed things out. Overall, this was the type of win that I was yes, this is the type of win I need to see from this team.
That's a type of win where you're that's a good baseball team. When they had the lead, they didn't all right, we can settle up, slow down a little bit. It's no, let's keep going, get more runs and push it so we can use the back end of the bullpen guys who aren't our greatest, but we are hitting so much that game that it's amazing. And say this Lazar has looked good, but still need to go make a move. I like how he's been pitching, but it's pretty interesting with him. But like what I'm seeing, that's all I'll say. The bats were batting. That's all I gotta say. And give Kyle Schwarber a blank check. Just let him fill it out. I don't care. He's worth more than Soto to me, in my opinion. And I may be biased.
I mean, the fact that you have the mascot from the Savannah Bananas roaming around Citizens Bank Park this weekend with a sign that says "Resign Kyle Schwarber" and everything is just absolutely hysterical. But like I mentioned on the last episode, I do think it'll get done. I just think it's more so along the lines of what we went through with JT Realmuto and all of that, where like he hits free agency, but he's not going anywhere. But you know, a phenomenal game, and like you said, that was a telltale game of like, damn, this is an awesome baseball team, which a lot of people need to like wake up to and realize that this is a damn good baseball team. And they continued to prove that trend on Saturday. Win 9-4. Bryce Harper, absolute moonshot. Edmundo Sosa, an absolute moonshot. Kyle Schwarber continued to deliver 2 more hits, 2 for 5 with a walk, drove in 2 of his own. Trey Turner, 2 for 6 in this game. If you're getting Trey Turner 6 opportunities up at the plate, that's how you know you're having yourself a damn good day at the yard. Because the fact that you were able to turn the lineup over to get 6 Trey Turner at bats in this game is amazing.
Yeah. No, I love how he's been playing, and I love how our lineup's been playing, especially at the back end of our lineup. Marsh has been playing better. Stott, since having kids, been hitting better. JT, not hitting for the power, but is looking like 2021. Well,
that home run he hit on Friday was
but still the power numbers aren't what they used to be. But he's still hitting.
I think, but he's turning it on from what it was.
When I first started here, he was batting like 230. He's up to 272 now, which I absolutely love, and it's great to see. And given another reason why we should re-sign him as well. And then, Ranger looked great yesterday. Looked amazing. Wheeler, not a normal Wheeler performance, but if that's the worst Wheeler we get, where he gives up 4 runs, I guess that's the worst Wheeler we'll get is 4 runs. So
yeah, we'll talk about the Wheeler start in a minute. I with JT, like back-to-back games with a home run too. He had a home run in the finale against the Red Sox and then homered against the Yankees. So like he's been seeing the ball incredibly well. And, Bryson Stott in this game, 2 walks, which were huge. Gets a hit of his own, scores a run, 1 for 3 in this game. Rojas, nice little walk, nice little run, scored, had an RBI as well because he walked with the bases loaded. But again, like that goes to show you, like when the bottom of the lineup is able to work at bats and do things, whether it's Sosa, who goes 1 for 4 with the home run, 2 RBI, and then Stott, Rojas, to turn the lineup over where, like we mentioned, Turner gets 6 at-bats, Schwarber gets 5 official at-bats because he walked, Bryce Harper gets 5 official at-bats because he walked. Like the fact that your top 3, who are arguably your 3 best hitters in this lineup right now, no matter who's healthy, whatever it may be, with Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, and Bryce Harper, if you're getting all 3 of those guys 5 to 6 at-bats in a game, like that more so tells me the back end of the lineup is doing its job by either getting on base, moving guys over, and extending innings. And that, to me, is more so a telltale sign of this is a damn good baseball team. Because if you're able to get the top of your lineup up to bat that many times, like a combined 16 official at-bats for Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, and Bryce Harper in that game. Like, that's unheard of, and that's like any team's nightmare. If you're a starting pitcher, a reliever, whatever it may be, the fact that you had to face that trio, 16 official at-bats, 18 times total where there were walks involved, that's crazy. And to me, this series too, not that I'm like concerned about the Yankees right now because it's the American League. We wouldn't see them again until the World Series anyway if they got that far. Like, this series should show a lot of people, like as well as the Yankees have played in spurts this season, they are one of the most undisciplined teams in Major League Baseball. And it should make you appreciate what the Phillies do, even though sometimes the Phillies drive you crazy with some of the things that happen, they are nowhere near the lack of discipline and just like the lackadaisical play that the New York Yankees play with. And that to me is just like a refreshing, like that's almost like a fan all-star break where like you see another team that is like in the mix for the playoffs and everything playing that way versus what the Phillies play like. I feel even better about the Phillies after this series simply because the Phillies don't make like fundamental mistakes. Sure, does Trey Turner have moments at shortstop that like there's plays it's like, oh, Trey, you got to have that. But it's almost like when those happen for Trey, it's not like he's not trying. With the Yankees, it's like their heads are just in the clouds. And to me, I'm like, I'd rather take what the Phillies have any day of the week over what I watched them go against with the Yankees.
Yeah, no, I mean that Goldschmidt era was brutal, especially from a former MVP. Definitely not what he used to be.
What are you throwing that for?
Yeah, that was reminded me of the Bellinger play a few years ago against the Giants where he just sailed it past third base.
It reminded me of Paul Goldschmidt in 2022 when he was with the Cardinals and threw that throw to home during the playoffs, and we were safe, and that ended up helping the Phillies go on their run.
Yeah, so shout out Paul Goldschmidt, helping out the Phillies again.
Just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And like you mentioned, Jacob, the Wheeler start today didn't have his stuff. Zack Wheeler, shout out to my boy Phil's Tailgate on Twitter. Coming into today, Zack Wheeler had a 7.20 ERA in his career at Yankee Stadium. It's just not a place he pitches well at. It was an uncharacteristic start from Zack Wheeler. Hit 3 guys in this one, 2 back-to-back, and that was like the end-all be-all. You know, you take that early 2-0 lead, but then, you know, the plunks will haunt you, as they say. And by they, I mean we, because those guys got added to the Platinum Plunk standings via Zack Wheeler. But you can't hit guys like that back-to-back. And, like, Wheeler knows that, and it's just, like, it's one of those frustrating things that, like, you wish you could have him back. Some bright spots from this game, though. Otto Kemp, first multi-home run game. An Ottoman Kempire state of mind, if you will. He was awesome in this one, made a lot of plays. Obviously, the 2 home runs were phenomenal. I'll say it. Edmundo, or not Edmundo, he played shortstop. Weston Wilson was not awful at second base today.
No, he wasn't. But
and I know it's a temporary thing that he's here, but like when he's going to be in the lineup, I want to see him like do something well because he's obviously had a very rocky season this year. It was not like appalled like by anything that he did at second base, really.
Yeah, no, I think he's great for the clubhouse. Is he a major league ball player? I don't know.
He's a quadruple A, like fringe bench guy, not necessarily like for this team, I would say. And like, we're going to see a lot of changes to this roster, I think, in the next couple of days. But overall, like when you're going to throw a guy in the lineup like that, because you're trying to play to the stats where Carlos Rodon sucks against right-handed, hitters and everything, I was more like content that was the decision today. Don't, mess up anything with Bryson, like mentally with the streak he's been on. Let him kind of just have a day off his feet as a new dad and like kind of just be rested going into the White Sox series. I was not mad about that. Sosa had a fantastic series overall, and I know Bryce Harper talked to him when he got frustrated during Saturday's game, and he like tossed his helmet a little bit. I did laugh that Bryce Harper told him, "We don't do that around here. We don't throw our helmets." Bryce, I love you, brother. But if I've ever heard the pot calling the kettle black in my life, it's right there.
Bryce Harper, you're maybe one of my favorite human beings of all time. Like, sorry, Mom. Love you. Bryce Harper. Yeah, I've seen you probably do that about 20 times, and it's been 6.5 years in Philly.
And also, like, you, Harrison, my brother-in-law, Matt, we're all part of hashtag Team Alec Bohm. Bryce Harper, you've been in the same area code as Alec Bohm for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
My brother in Christ, he knows how to toss a helmet. Like, let's not fool ourselves here. But I did like that. I did like that from Bryce and that story coming out, from the Phillies beat writers, that he was talking to Sosa about kind of just getting him back on track, and that can linger with guys like Sosa who aren't playing every day. And I like that Bryce took that initiative as a veteran on this team, as a face of this team, to really showcase some leadership that we don't traditionally hear or see from Bryce all that often. And not that I'm asking for him to be an outright front facing show off your leadership type guy, but I did like hearing that he was going up to somebody like Sosa, who's not necessarily a superstar on the team, but he's been a fixture of this team since 2022. And I liked Bryce being there for him. I thought that was a very cool veteran Bryce kind of coming of age moment for him.
Yeah, I mean, he did the same thing last year with Alec Boehm. He only has one of those a year. Again, 2022, when Boehm said he effing loves this place. Talked to him in the clubhouse. All is forgiven. I think Bryce Harper's. We have a great group of leaders with. I think Turner can be one. Schwarber's definitely one. Castellanos, and then we have a mix of young guys, so it definitely helps out. Especially we have pitching leaders. Nola's definitely one, and Wheeler is one.
JT's in that mix too.
Oh, JT obviously, yeah, being the catcher, kind of sees the whole field. But no, we have our leaders, and they have their leader moments, and it definitely. I know what Sosa. You can kind of understand what Sosa's going through when he started off season batting 400, and he's down to 260. So he's
things were going to ebb and flow and everything.
Yeah, but it's understandable. But you know what? Series win. All we gotta say.
Another big bright spot from this, and I don't know if I would declare it bright, but it's just a positive sign. Matt Strahm continues to look like Matt Strahm, which I love because I love Matt Strahm. I think he is a big time part of this bullpen and has been for the past couple of years now. Only gave up that one hit, got a strikeout, but that was a big inning for him, I think, to kind of keep that game at one run and give the Phillies a chance if they were going to come back in this game. And he afforded them that opportunity. And that's what I want to see from Matt Strahm, especially when eventually David Robertson comes into the bullpen. You want to see him be able to work in tandem with Strahm there, and those guys be able to pick their spots of when they feel comfortable coming into the games and stuff. And then obviously you throw Kerkering in that mix when he's available. And again, Tanner Banks looked good. An inning and a third, gave up one walk. I know people have been talking about Tanner Banks. We've talked about Tanner in a big time positive light on this show, rightfully so. He's earned it. I know a lot of people have talked about do I trust Tanner Banks in a postseason series? I'm not necessarily there yet, but my, oh my, if he I mean, he doesn't have flamethrower blow you away type stuff, but he certainly calms the nerves and really navigates through an inning and is able to give you good quality pitching. And if he's going to do that, I'm going to trust him on the postseason roster. I'm going to trust him down the stretch. I'm not saying throw him in the ninth inning, throw him in the eighth inning, but that's a guy that if he's coming in the game, I feel pretty okay if he's on the mound.
He reminds me a lot of Ranger, honestly, with his movement off speed and just settles down, never gets too flustered. So I'm a Tanner Banks fan. I can say that for sure.
He's one of three guys that Dave Dombrowski has acquired in his tenure of running the Phillies director of baseball operations that has survived past the trade deadline that he was acquired at. It was Kyle Gibson, who just retired. Salute to Gibby. We'll always have August of 2023. Or 2022, I'm sorry. Or not August. I'm all over the place. April of 2022. We had a whole running bit that it was Cy Gibson. Kyle Gibson lasted beyond his trade deadline. Brandon Marsh and Tanner Banks.
Sosa.
Those are the and so I always forget to throw Sosa in there because he was acquired in June of that year. But yes, Edmundo Sosa is also in that as well.
I feel like is there one more?
Rodolfo Castro technically, but he's never been on the major league roster outside of September call-ups.
Yeah.
But Tanner Banks has been great, and if you're gonna get that type of pitching from him, I feel comfortable with him being a big piece of this bullpen down the stretch where you go and have Tanner Banks, Kirk Ringstrom. You'll have Alvarado back. You'll have David Robertson. You'll have whoever you pick up at the trade deadline.
When does Alvarado come back?
I think it is. Let me look at the Phillies schedule real quick. Something tells me it's the Mariners series. I think it's the Mariners series that he comes back. It might be a little before that.
Will he go to AAA for?
So he's allowed to start like ramping up to come back from it 2 weeks before.
Okay.
He's eligible to come off of the suspension list. So he'll do like a rehab assignment and like a ramp up at like Lehigh Valley or Reading or something, and then he'll be good. So like he'll have 2 weeks of like pitching under his belt to like and facing live hitters and everything like that to be back and ready to go. But I think I remember might have been Destiny Legardo tweeted it when it happened that like I think it's the Mariners series he's eligible to come back for. Which like that's a decent chunk of the season that you'll have him back for, which is nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be what, mid-August?
Yeah, so the Mariners series is August 18th, 19th, and 20th.
No, mid to late. Gotcha.
Which will be like right when the Phillies get off like the crazy road trip that they'll be on when they go Texas, Cincinnati, and Washington for like 10 straight.
Yeah.
Which is just a brutal August road trip.
It's going to be weird.
But it will be nice to be home for as long as they are, because they are home against the Tigers and the Orioles, because it feels like forever that they have not been at home. Yeah. 3 straight road series, or no, 2 straight. So 2 straight road series, Yankees and White Sox, and then they'll be back home for 2, and then they go out for 10 straight games. It's been a wonky month of August, I'll say that.
It's July.
No, I'm saying it will be a wonky month of August, like with just like how weird the schedule continues to play out. Like you go that Tiger series, then you're home against the Orioles, and you're at Texas, at Cincinnati, at Washington. Then the Mariners come to Philly, then Washington comes to Philly, and then you go to Citi Field to play the Mets, and then the Braves come here.
What field?
Hey, I'm just playing. It's not that week yet, okay?
Shitty field.
It's not that week yet. But yeah, I mean, successful trip to Yankee Stadium, I would say. Eagles chants flooding through Yankee Stadium, which was hysterical.
Yeah.
A lot of viral videos too from Yankee Stadium this weekend. A lot of viral videos. If you know, you know. Also, shout out to my friend Gab, who works for FanDuel. She said the girl at Yankee Stadium was #faking it. A lot of funny tweets from that video. I can't believe that made it onto the internet.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, a wild Yankee series. And now you get the White Sox, which, yes, the White Sox stink, but this is a series that you cannot take lightly for the Phillies. You have to handle your business. You have to go to Chicago and sweep. And hopefully you come back to Philadelphia with Luis Robert Jr. with you.
You could walk over to the other side of the dugout if we pull the trigger by Wednesday.
Maybe Tanner Banks will just put him in his carry-on and fly him back to Philadelphia with him. That's a big carry-on, though, because that's a big boy.
Missile.
I would not hate Luis Robert Jr. coming back to Philadelphia with this team. I'll tell you that much. But
I would not if he jumps on the plane.
Before we dive into
Romano and Kepler there for them.
Before we dive into the trade rumors, I want to talk to everybody about our awesome pals at 47. Guys, I got the new pickup. I used my points. Got the new pickup here. It's a beauty of a hat. I love like the throwback like 80s and 90s style with like the diamonds and everything on it. It's one of my favorite styles of the 47 hitch hat. And Jacob, I don't know if you saw, but our good pal Bryce Harper, 47 guy.
Oh, he was wearing them.
Model in the 47 Carhartt collection, just looking like an absolute beautiful specimen that he is.
So what are we getting done today? The usual.
My mama told me before I left my town. My mama told me
Perfect.
I'm going home.
When I woke up and saw that advertising, I was like, oh, Bryce Harper and us, we're part of the same team. Let's ride.
Hey, 47, can you get him on this podcast, please?
I was very thrilled to see that. But yes, Bryce Harper, 47 brand guy. You can check out the 47 Carhartt collection on their website. Plus, 47 is dropping like new styles, what seems like every single day of the week. They just dropped their like relaunch of the Tribute 47 hitch for every single league: MLB, NBA, NCAA, NFL, and NHL. It's a beautiful collection of hats. I have it in the reverse. These ones are the white hat and the team color brim. I have it black with the team color brim. They look sweet as all get out. They got the overhand hitch for the NFL training camp kickoff. Plus that ice cream collection. I've been hitting remind me when it's in stock for the Phillies ones ever since it went out. It sold out so quick. I couldn't believe it all at the same time.
Yeah.
Plus they have incredible collabs with New Balance, Rawlings, like we said, Carhartt, which like Carhartt never collabs with anyone. So like definitely check those out. They have all the styles you could ever want for your favorite teams across the board. Check out 47 by using the link in our description, and you'll get free shipping on all orders when you sign up and join the 47 family. It's free to join. You earn points for every purchase you make. When you rack up points, you get free stuff. Just like I got this hat, and I got another Flyers hat for free, which, like, if it's free, is for me. Shout out to 47. Like I said, use our link in the description, join the 47 family, and get free shipping on all orders. And we thank 47 for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Jacob, the trade rumors are swirling, and they're swirling pretty heavily for the Philadelphia Phillies with a player that we've mentioned. And just last week we said we don't really see the fit for the guy. We would love him on the team.
Yeah.
Just didn't really see the fit. But now it feels like he could be the big piece. Shout out to Ryan Howard. Added at the trade deadline for this team, and that is 34-year-old Arizona Diamondbacks all-star third baseman Eugenio Suarez, which I can't wait for the radio station callers to try to pronounce that, or with the heaviest Delco accent, everyone's saying, yo, Geno Suarez. Geno Suarez going to be out there hitting dingies for the Fightins, okay? Quote here from MLB insider Hector Gomez, who I trust Hector Gomez a lot when it comes to the Latin players in Major League Baseball and like the sources that he gets and the information he puts out there. He's very tapped in with the Latin American players and kind of that side of Major League Baseball and like where guys can go. The quote here from Hector is, while the Mariners remain in intense talks with the Diamondbacks for Eugenio Suarez, the Cubs and Phillies are very willing to do whatever it takes to get the all-star third baseman. That was also followed up with, and Jacob, didn't I tell you, if it's coming from John Heyman, there's a lot of trust tree. John Heyman knows ball. John Heyman tweeted on Friday, Phillies are yet another potential fit for Eugenio Suarez with Bohm out and a need for a righty bat. Yankees, Mariners, Cubs, Reds, Astros, Tigers, Brewers all are also fits. Yankees are off that board now. They traded for Ryan McMahon. Was that Friday or Thursday?
Friday.
So they're off the board for Suarez now, which is nice.
Yeah.
But and then Scott Lauber wrote a piece in the Philadelphia Inquirer about Suarez. There's a lot of turbulence and wind blowing around Eugenio Suarez and the Phillies right now, and I don't really know what to make of it. You know, it's nice to see that the Phillies are connected to a big name and potentially the biggest name at this trade deadline in terms of power bats. I don't know what to make of it, though, simply because it's very much against the grain of what we've come to know Dave Dombrowski to do in his Phillies tenure, where the guys that they're interested in, they don't typically leak like this. They keep a lot of things close to the vest, and all of the players at the trade deadline in particular, we knew Trey Turner was coming here and all that kind of stuff. The trade deadline stuff is different, where like Dave keeps that close to the vest, and the fact that there's a lot of wind swirling around this, I do think the Phillies are interested. I also don't know if the Phillies are just using themselves or using the reporters to drive the price up on this guy so that they can swoop in and get a Luis Robert Jr., go and get, somebody else in the power bat situation or the outfield bat situation that they can get at a cheaper price, because the Suarez price is just too rich for their liking. I don't know what to make of it. What are you making of it?
I want to ask, have we ever gotten a bit like one of the top trade deadline players for the trade deadline since Dombrowski's got here? No, not really. It's not really what we do.
Yeah, I'll pull up.
Probably the biggest one is Syndergaard and Lorenzen. Those are the two probably biggest ones we made. So I don't think we're gonna actually gonna do it. In my opinion, I don't think there's no shot we're gonna do it.
So 2021 was when the Phillies went and got Kyle Gibson, Ian Kennedy, and Freddie Galvis. That was like Dave's first.
Freddie Galvis
just retired. Shout out to the legend. That was Dave's first trade deadline running the team. Then 2022 was Brandon Marsh, Noah Syndergaard, and David Robertson, got Edmundo Sosa in June. Was there someone else at the deadline too? They got
Castro was the next year.
Rodolfo Castro was the next year. Let me see. Syndergaard, Marsh, David Robertson. Yeah, it might have just been them. And then Sosa. 2023 was Lorenzen, Rodolfo Castro. And then
last year was
Estevez. Was Tanner Banks last year?
Yeah, Tanner Banks.
So it's Tanner Banks, Carlos Estevez. Yeah, I mean, I think Estevez was probably the biggest name that was like floating around there. It was like a marquee guy. At that point, Brandon Marsh was like very early on in his career, and that was like a move that was made for the now and the future, and the future being the now. Noah Syndergaard was total rental. Lorenzen was total rental. So it's one of those things that like Dave hasn't gotten like one of those marquee guys at the deadline in his tenure of running the Phillies, and it's making me like wonder like, why are we being thrown in the conversations now? Like, what is driving this force here?
Yeah.
Is it a philosophical change finally of how they want to approach the trade deadline? Maybe. But again, is it them trying to drive the price up on Suarez so that the Cubs trade a lot? There's a thing floating around that the Cubs could potentially be trading one of their top two prospects in a Suarez trade, which would be crazy to do, in my opinion. Are you doing that to level the playing field to make Luis Robert Jr. more, of an acquirable piece? Are you doing that to make, I don't know, somebody else that's out there in the doldrums of the MLB standings that are looking to sell an acquirable piece at the trade deadline? Trying to remember some of the guys that we brought up last week in terms of, I know the Mariners are in it, but like a Randy Arozarena, somebody, Stephen Kwan has been thrown around with the Phillies. Are you trying to lower that price? Are you trying to lower a Taylor Ward price? There's a lot of names that are trying to lower. Adolis Garcia. Like there's so many different things that this could be a part of that I don't know how to interpret it. And I know like it sounds crazy that I'm saying all this, and it's like it sounds like I have a tinfoil hat on, but like you never know with this Phillies team. At the deadline, that's the thing. Dave keeps things so close to the vest. 95% of the time, like I feel like the only move that was like a known commodity was Trey Turner at free agency. Everything else, whether it be Taijuan Walker, whether it be a lot of the moves that we've made in free agent, Jordan Romano, Max Kepler, like a lot of the moves Dave makes, whether they're good, bad, or in between, no one really sees them coming. It's a lot of stuff, all pun intended, out of left field. So I don't know what to make of the Phillies and the Eugenio Suarez connection. The thing that's making me think they are very interested, though, is that it's coming from Hector Gomez.
Yeah, that is one thing to look at, but again, we've never done a trade like this. I don't think we are going to. I think we're definitely going to get a big bullpen piece, but not necessarily a Eugenio Suarez.
I mean, I would like it. I just don't know what happens when Alec Bohm comes back. That's my thing. It's like, I know people are going to be like, oh, Alec Bohm. Like, shut up, dummies. A lot of the talk has been, too, that, like, Schwarber would move to left field. Suarez would be your DH on days that Suarez doesn't DH. Bohm is potentially at, first to give Harper a day off. Schwarber DHs. Suarez plays at third. Like, it's a lot of like jumbling the lineup, and like I would love Suarez's bat in this lineup. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, it would be nice.
But again, he's a 34-year-old rental who I don't think there's a need or a like overwhelming thought that they would even like consider re-signing him. So like you have to take that into account too when it comes to the price tag and everything. And it makes me like so curious for these next 4 days of what the trade deadline is going to end up looking like on Thursday, which we will be live for the final couple hours of the trade deadline on our YouTube channel that you won't want to miss out on that. So definitely subscribe to the YouTube because we'll be live for trade deadline reactions and everything on Thursday afternoon. But the Suarez stuff really picked up this weekend, and that was like, whoa, are we going for it?
Yeah, I can't wait for Thursday. Let's just say, can't wait for Thursday.
It is one of those things that I'm just like, oh my God, Thursday just needs to be here so we can like all just like collectively breathe and like be like, okay, it's over. Like now we know like what the team is gonna pretty much look like the rest of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just want to see a bullpen arm. That's what I want to see.
I want to see a bullpen arm. I want to see a power bat, a right-handed bat in this lineup. I want to see the outfield a little bit adjusted. Like, I want to see a lot. Okay, I want to see Dave go to work. I want to see Dave finally like be like Bob Ross, painting a pretty little picture out there, beat the devil out of this trade deadline, and make some magic happen and make this team a true World Series contender.
We're gonna let you cook, Dave. Don't mess it up, please.
Let him cook. But yeah, that's been the real big rumor. So a couple of trades have happened though. Also, I don't know if you saw this or not. It was one place that I saw it and I totally forget where it came from, so I apologize. Did you see the Diamondbacks could potentially listen on Ketel Marte?
I did see that.
Yes. Whatever they want.
Painter gone. Miller gone. Crawford gone. Whoever.
Like, I'm giving them Rojas. I'm probably giving them one of Aiden Miller, Justin Crawford. Probably giving them Arun Escobar, Mick Abel, Rincones Jr.,
a bucket of crab fries, a cheesesteak.
I'm giving them a lot if that were the case. And I know Ketel Marte is a little bit older than he looks, which always blows my mind. I think he's like 31.
Yeah.
That dude's so goddamn good at baseball.
He is. Yeah.
Like if the Diamondbacks trade him, which I know they've traded Naylor already to Seattle, the trade market is open the Naylor trade got things going. Ryan McMahon goes to the Yankees. Gregory Soto went to the Mets.
Lol
Was
Mets.
there another trade that happened recently?
I don't think so. No.
I'm gonna double check that, but the trade bubbles have burst, if you will. You know, it's the moves are swirling. The deals can be had now. Oh yeah, Ahmed Rosario got acquired by the Yankees
Oh yeah.
from the Nationals.
Sorry,
The
Anthony Volpe
Braves.
gone.
The Braves, I don't know why they're making moves. They're acquiring Eric Fetty from the Cardinals for cash or a player to be named later. Ahmed Rosario goes to the Yankees for Clayton Beeter and Braum Martinez from the Yankees to the Nationals. And the Royals got Randall Grichuk from the Diamondbacks for Andrew Hoffman. So the Diamondbacks are indeed like selling, which is definitely something to pay attention to. Brian McMahon goes to the Yankees from the Rockies for Griffin Herring and Josh Groves. The Mets, like we said, got Gregory Soto for Wellington, Aracena, and Cameron Foster. Cameron Foster's a great baseball name. And then the Mariners acquired Josh Naylor from the Diamondbacks for Brandon Garcia and Ashton Izzy, 2 pitchers. And that's really been the biggest moves really as of late, to kind of like come on down. The Braves acquired Dane Dunning from the Rangers for our old friend Jose Ruiz.
Jose Ruiz, I don't miss you one bit.
No, I was going through some old clips, and the fact that Jose Ruiz and
Carlos
Hernandez were on this team at one point blows my mind.
Yeah, that was a nutty time for the fellas.
That was a time, to say the least.
Yeah, luckily we made it out the struggle.
Yeah, we're starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Jordan Romano and Max Kepler are still on the team now.
That's why I said we're just starting to see it.
Yeah.
Let's get into some Hall of Fame talk, though. Dick Allen goes into the Hall of Fame this weekend. It will always not sit right with me that he missed getting to the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago, when he was on the ballot by like 1 vote and then had to be inducted posthumously this year. That will never sit right with me. He should have been inducted when he was alive. It's crazy that he wasn't. But what a Hall of Fame class this year. Dick Allen is my headline for it, simply because he's going in as a Philly. It's another Philly in the Hall of Fame. And that dude, I know he played well before our lifetimes, but anybody I talk to about Dick Allen who got the opportunity to watch him play or got a chance to just know Dick Allen over the years, what a guy. And what a quote he had when he came back to Philadelphia too, talking about how he, like, I'm paraphrasing here, basically said, I'm not here to talk, I'm here to play baseball. Like, he was just a gamer. He had swag. He was super cool. And just like, he is somebody that, like, I want to go down one day, just a rabbit hole of watching Dick Allen highlights and just seeing him play back in the day, because what an absolute legend of the game. And I'm very happy he's in. It's just, it will never sit right with me that he went in posthumously.
Yeah, it's a good thing for baseball in general, for what he did for the game. Great player, great icon, and a name who should have been in the Hall of Fame a while ago. I think everyone in sports can kind of agree with that. And what he did, just not just on the field, but off the field, huge icon.
Yeah, so the Hall of Fame class this year, Dick Allen, Dave Parker, another legend of the game, CC Sabathia, Ichiro Suzuki, and Billy Wagner, another Phillies legend for a multitude of reasons. CC Sabathia for me, Jacob, I know you were extremely young in 2008, 2009.
I was 3.
Yes. Like I said, extremely young.
You're welcome.
2008 for me was the greatest year of my Phillies fandom for a lot of reasons, obviously. But I will always remember, like, the Brewers going in, like, all in, pushing the chips in the middle of the table, trading for CC Sabathia.
Yeah.
And the Phillies just absolutely boat racing him in the playoffs and making them look so silly. And it was awesome. Victorino,
Grand Slam.
that grand slam off of CC Sabathia gives me chills to this day. And I will never forgive CC Sabathia for 2009. But CC is one of those guys who, as time has gone on, as the Yankees have continued to suck and suck and suck, and CC retiring and everything, the more I've appreciated how incredible of a baseball player that dude was.
Yeah.
Like, I love CC Sabathia now. And I think it just took some time for me to like mature as a human and like not be a sophomore in high school being depressed that my baseball team just lost in the World Series to a team that I have vehemently hated my entire life.
Yeah.
But the more time goes on and the more I see like CC just doing things in the community and being such an amazing ambassador for not only the sport of baseball, but being a black pitcher, like that is a big deal. And he talked about it where he didn't want to be the last black ace going into the Hall of Fame. He doesn't want to be one of the last black pitchers going into the Hall of Fame. I think that's so important for like young kids today to see someone who is still relatively like very young and like not all that far removed from the game going into the Hall of Fame, first ballot, and being somebody that they can look up to and being like, hey, that's the guy that like I can aspire to be. CC is such an inspiration to Major League Baseball and to just the sport of baseball. I'm so happy he's a Hall of Famer, and he's truly become one of my favorite athletes over the past like 5, 6, 7 years of just like watching his game and seeing old highlights. And people really forget when they were called the Indians, when he was in Cleveland, he was almost unhittable anytime he went out on the mound. Like, people remember how good he was with the Yankees. Like, he was fantastic with the Yankees, don't get me wrong. And he had a great stint with the Brewers. When he was in Cleveland, that was one of the best, like, modern era pitchers to ever exist. And the fact that that rotation was headlined by CC and Cliff Lee is crazy that team never did anything, because those guys in their peak are two of the best pitchers I've ever seen. And CC is just, he's an exceptional human being, and he's somebody I would love to just like sit down and talk for an hour about life, because he just seems like that kind of guy that you could just sit down and he would just have stories for days, and you would sit there probably for 3 hours and it wouldn't even feel like you were sitting there for a minute.
Yeah. This was definitely a baseball class getting into the Hall of Fame who were people bigger than baseball.
Yes.
Obviously, we just said CC, Dick Allen, Dave Parker, and Ichiro all had major impacts on people trying to play the game of baseball in a growing community. So it's a great thing for the Hall of Fame. I would say this class, it's a great year of Hall of Fame inductees with everyone making a name for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, with Ichiro, first Japanese player to be inducted into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, or Baseball Hall of Fame, however you want, it's Baseball Hall of Fame. First Japanese player ever inducted. The fact that he was not a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer is crazy. Yeah. But I love that Ichiro dunked on that writer. I love that he rescinded the invitation to his house for dinner. I love that he dunked on the Marlins, saying that when you called me in 2015 to offer me a contract, I didn't know your team existed. Ichiro is one of those cultural icons too, that watching him play was such a treat, because he did things so differently than any baseball player you grew up watching when Ichiro was playing. And he was just so fun to watch. He wasn't, he came up during the tail end of the steroid era, and, he was playing when Barry Bonds and McGuire and all those guys were playing, but like, he wasn't hitting bombs. He wasn't hitting home runs. He was hitting slap singles, shallow outfield singles, infield hits, and making the most of just getting on base and using his speed, using his brain to make plays happen. He was so fun to watch for such a long time. And I mean, like those Mariners teams with Ichiro, like you want to talk about changing the culture of baseball. Like he made Seattle a destination for Japanese players. He made the West Coast a destination. Like if Ichiro doesn't play for the Mariners, we're not sitting here talking about what the Dodgers have been able to do in signing Japanese players. We're not talking about, Yusei Kikuchi having a renaissance this year with the Angels and going to the West Coast. Like Ichiro made the West Coast the premier destination for a majority of the Japanese players that came over from the Japanese league. And I think all of those players would tell you, like they're following in the footsteps of Ichiro and playing on the West Coast. It's closer to Japan, so a lot of their friends and family can come and watch them if they so choose. And just remembering like that team, those teams in Seattle, like having the King's Court with Felix Hernandez and then Ichiro, like just taking over from a cultural perspective was so cool. And like being able to watch Ichiro play growing up was one of the biggest treats of my baseball fandom, and I'm so happy he's in the Hall of Fame. And Billy Wagner, Billy, a guy who doesn't get enough respect for how incredible he was in Houston. Like he's going in as an Astro, rightfully so, and he was dynamite. And then he came to the Phillies, was exceptional with the Phillies, and then he goes to the Mets and helped the Phillies win a couple of division titles. Like Billy Wagner, I will always have a soft spot in my heart for Billy Wagner. He was one of the guys that, as I was growing up and like kind of like my middle school era of like really understanding baseball, like when you're a kid, you just love baseball, you love it for this, but when you're like middle school age, that's when you start like watching the games and learning stats and kind of who guys are, and you kind of have like those core memories that sit in your brain to this day. Like I have a lot of those memories of 06 to 11 with the Phillies, the year before the run started and then the run of my childhood, that like Billy Wagner was a key fixture for the Phillies and for the Mets of that era. And he was just so dominant out of the back end of the bullpen and like pitching in a time when like Kerry Wood was pitching and like so many dominant Mariano Rivera, like so many dominant closers. Billy Wagner kind of like gets lost in the shuffle sometimes. And I'm glad he's going into the Hall of Fame because he was a dynamic closer for such a long time. And like you said, so perfectly said, this is an elite Hall of Fame class. Yeah. Dick Allen, Dave Parker, CC Sabathia, Ichiro Suzuki, and Billy Wagner. That is a dynamite Hall of Fame class. That is from top to bottom, like so many influential players and so many guys who like wrote different stories for so many different franchises. And one day I will go to Hall of Fame induction weekend, and I will certainly be there for Jimmy Rollins and Chase Utley when they get inducted. That's for damn sure. But one day I would love to, when we're big booming and we're getting funding properly for this company, I would love to make it a staple that like Hall of Fame induction weekend is a weekend that like the company is in Cooperstown for that, and we're doing shows from Cooperstown, stuff like that, because it just seems like such an electric weekend.
Have you been to Hall of Fame or no?
I've not.
Okay. Been there too many times.
Bucket list for me, for sure.
Yeah. Like 30 minutes.
I don't think I've been to any of the major four Hall of Fame. I've driven by the Basketball Hall of Fame a number of times.
Basketball Hall of Fame's really cool. I love it. That's probably my favorite.
But I do want to go to all of the Hall of Fames because it like that's the thing with like every Hall of Fame, like it should tell the story of your sport, and that's why I'm so like pro put the steroid guys in, put like Shoeless Joe Jackson, put those guys in because it tells the story of your sport. And I just want to see it all. Like I love that baseball is like the one sport where like you go in with a certain team. Yeah. Like you're immortalized for your time with that team. And I love that Roy Halladay went in with both, like, and you have those unique players that have those moments. But congratulations to all the Hall of Famers this year, because
well deserved.
What a class. What a Hall of Fame class. Do we have the let's see who the early analysis is for 2026. Who can go in? So 2026. You know who a first-time candidate is, Jacob?
Chase Utley, J-Roll.
Close, same era. Cole Hamels. Put him in.
Definitely. World Series MVP. Put him in.
First-time candidates, Cole Hamels and Ryan Braun.
Braun has no chance.
Other notable first-timers, Shin-Soo Choo,
Wow.
Edwin Encarnacion, Alex Gordon, Matt Kemp, Nick Markakis, and Hunter Pence.
Can we get just 100 pence for the Hall of Fame? I would love that.
I would love that. And then the final year on the ballot, and he should be in my opinion, is Manny Ramirez.
Steroids.
Should be in. Manny Wood, his time with the Red Sox, like he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I get what you're saying, but there's also a big argument against it.
I don't care about the steroids, he was so damn good. 2027 ballot, I think these two will both get in as the top first-time candidates. Buster Posey, John Lester.
Oh, without a doubt.
I think they both get in. Other notable first-timers that year, Jay Bruce, Phillies legend, Brett Gardner.
Very
Kyle,
good inductee.
yes. Jay Bruce, Brett Gardner, Kyle Seager, Ryan Zimmerman, and Jordan Zimmerman. And then the final year on the ballot in 2027 is Andrew Jones, who I also think should probably be in. I don't know if he will be, but he probably should be.
I'm 50-50 on him.
And then 2028 first-time candidates, these two will definitely get in, and potentially unanimous. Albert Pujols, Yadier Molina.
Yeah. I love that their last games were against Phillies.
Yeah, I love that we ended both of their careers. Other notable first-timers in 2028, Robinson Cano, David Price, Steven Strasburg, Lorenzo Cain, Andrelton Simmons, and Justin Upton.
Hot take, Andrelton Simmons gets into the Hall of Fame.
No way.
Look, I want to put
No way.
Hold
Are you thinking
on,
of the same? Are you thinking of the same person? Because
Andrelton Simmons, the defensive wizard? Yes.
he does not have the numbers to get in the Hall of Fame, my friend. I don't even know if he has the numbers to get in the Hall of Very Good.
Yeah, I thought he had more gold gloves. That's the thing. I thought he had way more. How many did you think he would have?
2.
Oh, well, that's a little disrespectful. He's got 4.
I mean, there's a lot of good shortstops.
Yeah, but he was like the best of the best, in my opinion.
And then final year on the ballot in 2028 is Andy Pettitte, who I also think should be in.
Yep, steroids up, which...
And then 2029, we might see 3 unanimous guys. Miguel Cabrera, Zach Greinke, Joey Votto. And then other notable players, Adam Wainwright, Evan Longoria, Madison Bumgarner, Nelson Cruz, Michael Brantley, Josh Donaldson, Corey Kluber, Elvis Andrews. And then Bobby Abreu is in his final year of the ballot that year.
A lot of dudes on that list are getting in.
Bobby Abreu should also be in.
Mad
Bumgarner will be in. Wainwright will be in. I don't know if Longoria gets in.
I don't think first time he would.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't hate if he got in. Like, he was really fucking good, but
yeah,
I just don't know if he'll have, like, the
stats,
the longevity stats.
Yeah. But he was elite for a while, so he gets in, I'm not going to say a word.
Yeah. And then 2030 ballot, Anthony Rizzo, JD Martinez. I don't think either of them get in.
Anthony Rizzo. Is he even technically retired yet?
Some might say yes, some might say no.
Yeah, guess we'll see.
I don't think either of them get in. And then other notable first-timers, Johnny Cueto, Jose Abreu, Charlie Blackmon, Brandon Crawford, Kevin Kiermaier, Lance Lynn, and Matt Carpenter.
Don't think any of them get in.
No. I think the closest chance would be Cueto.
Yeah, and does Cueto have a World Series? No, he was on the-
Yes.
I'll look it up.
I think he was on that Royals team.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was
2015.
traded at the deadline to the Royals in 2015.
I was thinking Giants more, so.
Yeah, he was a two-time All-Star, NL strikeout leader in 14, and then he was a World Series champion in 2015.
Yeah.
He was on the Giants for a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah. Every time I think of Cueto, I think of the Pirates fans yelling Cueto at him and giving up a bomb.
He was so good early in his career.
He had a funky windup, too.
Him and Edinson Volquez,
Yeah.
those two together were unbelievable.
Yeah.
How long was he? Wow, I didn't realize Volquez didn't start with the Reds. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple years with the Hall of Fame.
It will be.
I'm excited for it, though. All of that Hall of Fame talk brought to you by our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. Guys, you want to talk about a Hall of Fame merch provider? It's PHI Apparel Company. You want to stand out in the crowd, rep your favorite Philly sports teams or your favorite Philly sports podcast, look no further than PHI Apparel Company, because with their unique designs for all, there is no doubt in our minds you will stand out in the crowd. Go to phiapparel.co, and when you go to checkout, use code UNDERGROUND and you'll get 10% off your next merch order. Again, that's phiapparel.co, code UNDERGROUND at checkout for 10% off your next merch order, and stand out in the crowd with the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Jacob, are you ready to dive into some stats and info around Major League Baseball?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let us begin. We will start with the run differentials in the National League East. And if I can pull up the correct standings, here we go. We'll start with the, unfortunately, in first place, New York Mets, 62-44, 7-3 in their last 10. They're on a 7-game winning streak. Would you like their runs scored or runs against?
We'll go runs against.
They have surrendered 411 runs, which is the fewest in the division.
Go plus 61.
In the ballpark, they are at a plus 55. They have scored 466, and they have surrendered that 411 number for the plus 55. We go to the 60-45 Philadelphia Phillies, game and a half back in the division, 6-4 in their last 10. Would you like their runs scored or runs against?
Go runs scored.
They've scored a division-high 493 runs.
I like plus 71.
Still in the ballpark, they are plus 74. They have surrendered 419, which is the second fewest in the division, scored 493 for that plus 74 number. We go to the 50-54 Miami Marlins, who just continue to just stay hot for some reason.
They got shut out 18-0 yesterday.
And they're still 7-3 in their last 10.
Yeah. Give me their runs against.
They have surrendered 493 runs, which is the second most in the division.
Minus 54.
You are in the ballpark. They're at a minus 48. They have surrendered the 493. They've scored 445. Then we go to the 44-60 Atlanta Braves, 17 games back in the division, 2-8 in their last 10, 5-game losing streak. Would you like their runs scored or runs against?
Go runs against.
They've surrendered 450 runs on the season. I will give you the hint. No other team is in the positive. So the Braves are not a positive run differential, just the Mets and Phillies. You are in the ballpark. They're at a minus 23. They have scored a division low 427 runs, surrendered 450 to get them at minus 23. Then we go to the 43-62 Washington Nationals. That's crazy that the Braves are on pace to potentially fall into last place in the division. I was just looking at that. That's wild.
That makes me smile, though.
That's so funny. Nationals are 5-5 in their last 10. They've won 2 in a row. Would you like their runs scored or runs against?
Go runs against.
They have surrendered a division-high 556 runs on the season.
Minus 106.
In the ballpark, they're at a minus 100. Minus 100. They have surrendered 556. They've scored 456. I do remember the trade now that I saw that the Cubs could give up their top 2 prospects for. Potentially Mackenzie Gore.
Oh,
The Nationals would
Intriguing.
want the Cubs' top 2 prospects plus like 2 or 3 other prospects, which I'm like, that's kind of wild.
yeah.
Speaking of the Cubs, they are at a plus 116 run differential. The Brewers are at a plus 92. The Reds are at a plus 45. The Cardinals are at a minus 8, and the Pirates are at a minus 55. The Dodgers are at a plus 66. The Padres are at a plus 20. The Giants are at a plus 9. The Diamondbacks are at a plus 7. Jacob, we come to the 27 and 78 Colorado Rockies.
Wow. Give me the runs against.
They have surrendered 644 runs on the season so far, which is the most in the National League.
Runs against. What did I just say? Runs against minus 270.
Minus 268 is where they're at. So close, but they are back on pace. They're in the stratosphere of 1K club. They're on pace to surrender 993.6 runs this season. They have scored 376, and they have surrendered 644. Come on, 1K club. I need to witness that in my lifetime of like cognizant memory. I need to see a team surrender 1,000 runs. We move to the American League. The Blue Jays are in first place in the AL East with a plus 42 run differential. The Yankees are at a plus 95. The Boston Red Sox are at a plus 54. The Tampa Bay Rays are at a plus 54. And the Baltimore Orioles are at a minus 86. The Tigers, who will be coming to Philadelphia this coming weekend, are at a plus 62. They are 2-8 in their last 10. The Guardians are at a minus 38. The Royals are at a minus 19. The Twins are at a minus 19. And the Chicago White Sox, who the Phillies will see to start this week, are at a minus 71. And then in the AL West, the Astros are at a plus 39. The Mariners are at a plus 20. The Rangers are at a plus 74. They've been super hot as of late. They've won 6 in a row, 9-1 in their last 10. The Angels are at a minus 68. And the Oakland A's, yes, the Oakland A's, are at a minus 121 on their run differentials. Those are run differentials around the NL East and Major League Baseball. And now we go to the Platinum Plunk Award standings. Jacob, we were kind of talking shop about this before we started recording tonight. It's kind of crazy how multiple guys are on pace to shatter last year's overall record in the National and American League and just Major League Baseball in general. Leading the National League, he was the winner in the month of June. It's Wilson Contreras from the St. Louis Cardinals. He is at 17 hit by pitches this season. If he is hit by 2 more, he will break last year's National League winning total held by Jock Peterson, Jerks, and Profar, who were both hit by 18 pitches total all of last year. We still have about 2 months to go, which is crazy to think about. And then in the American League, leading all of baseball, as he tends to do, Randy Arozarena with 18 hit by pitches. He's already tied for the National League lead of last year as we sit here on July 27th recording this. And Randy is 5 hit by pitches off of breaking his overall record from last year of 22 on a season. We go to your Philadelphia Phillies leaders in the hit by pitch category. Still the same. Nothing has really shaken up. Kyle Schwarber still leading the way. He is a 3-time Platinum Plunk monthly award winner so far this year and could shape up to be 4 straight as he leads the Phillies with 8 hit by pitches. Right behind him with 6 is Otto Kemp. And then it's Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, and Alec Boehm, who have been hit by 4 pitches. Max Kepler and Nick Castellanos have been hit by 3. JT Realmuto and Mundo Sosa have been hit by 2. Bryson Stott, Rafael Marchand have been hit by 1. Brandon Marsh, Johan Rojas, Weston Wilson still have not been hit by pitches so far this season.
What are the odds Brandon Marchand's up with 0 this year?
It's getting real likely. It's crazy. My boy fends off the hit by pitches. This is a first this year though, Jacob. As we look at the team totals, we have a 3-way tie for first place right now. Right now, leading Major League Baseball in a 3-way tie with 60 hit by pitches as a team, the Minnesota Twins, the New York Mets, and the Seattle Mariners, all who have been hit by 60 pitches so far this year as a team. The LA Angels are at 57. The Cardinals are at 51. The Diamondbacks and Orioles are at 49. The Tigers and Astros are at 48. The Red Sox are at 47. The Brewers are at 45. The Giants are at 43. The Reds, Rangers, and Nationals are all at 42. The Blue Jays are at 41, which is league average. The Royals and Yankees are at 40. The Phillies are at 38. The Dodgers are at 37. The Guardians are at 35. The Braves, Rockies, and Pirates are all at 32. The Rays are at 31. The Padres are at 30. The Cubs are at 28. The White Sox are at 27. The A's are at 26. And the Marlins are at 26. And those are your Platinum Plunk Award standings around Major League Baseball, brought to you by our pals at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com. Use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Pittsburgh areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. And if you're going to the Man Center this season, you can find Big Boy Kenny's, the tall boys, at the Man Center all summer long. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink responsibly. Jacob, the Fantastic Four hit theaters this weekend. Very, very fun movie. I went and saw it on Saturday afternoon. Highly recommend going and seeing, especially if you're a Marvel fan. Marvel's going in the right direction again, everybody. Let me tell you. Definitely a very enjoyable movie. And with it being, a team of superheroes here, I figured we would do something that not only plays into the social media algorithm, but we are both going to assemble our very own Philly sports Fantastic Four teams. We will each choose an athlete from any of the teams. This can be from the Eagles, the Phillies, the Flyers, the Sixers, the Union, the Wings, the Water Dogs, whomever. If you play in Philadelphia, you are in the player pool for this exercise. We're going to pick our Mr. Fantastic, our Invisible Woman, our Human Torch, and the Thing. Mr. Fantastic obviously has those stretchy limbs, the stretching ability, and one of, if not the smartest character in the MCU and in Marvel Comics. The Invisible Woman can obviously turn invisible. She can also create force fields with her powers. The Human Torch, flame on. He's got ability to turn into a giant burning human. He can fly around. And then the Thing is obviously a giant rock, super strong, has that rocky texture ability. So however you see those abilities playing into a particular Philly sports athlete, that's how we are going to categorize them. You guys can also leave a comment in the YouTube comment section. We're going to post graphics of this as well with our teams that Jacob and I create. You can leave yours in the YouTube comment section. You can leave it on the social media comments in the Apple Podcast reviews, or you can leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/Underground Sports Philadelphia. We will start with Mr. Fantastic, kind of the leader of the Fantastic Four, the stretchy abilities, the big brain, the leader of the team. I got to go Jalen Hurts. He's Mr. Fantastic. He does it all. He's able to run. He's able to, push the tush. He's able to, throw. He's able to run. He's able to just make smart, quick-witted decisions. I think he's one of the smartest athletes in Philadelphia on and off the field. My Mr. Fantastic of Philly sports is Jalen Hurts.
My Mr. Fantastic of Philly sports is Mr. MV3, Bryce Harper. Does it all. Loves Philly, gets the crowd, height, can do it all, defense. You know the kid, the guy's clutch. Hits.
I like it.
But, yeah, enough said.
I like that. He's able to stretch the ball into the stands, swing it at bat. I like that. We will go with our Invisible Woman pick. No, obviously, we don't have a WNBA team yet, which is unfortunate. 2030, very excited for that. But basing it off of the powers, kind of what the Invisible Woman is able to do. She's a peace broker as well. Who do you have as your invisible woman, Jacob?
Okay, so I don't have an athlete, but a Philly staple. I got Callum Scott because he's in the corner and you can't see him.
Oh, that's all pun intended here. That is fantastic. That's fantastic. Oh my, that's good. That's some of your best work, my friend.
Thank you.
That's some of your best work.
I appreciate it.
My invisible woman kind of creates a force field, can kind of go invisible. I think my answer here, I gotta go Trey Turner. Super fast. You can barely see him when he's running the bases. When he steals bases as well. He's gone in the blink of an eye. And he puts a nice little force field around this Phillies lineup, sets the tone, is able to protect everyone in the lineup by hitting leadoff. I'm gonna go Trey Turner as my invisible woman comparison there. The Human Torch, who's able to kind of light things on fire, get things going, flies around, and it's just he's the cool guy. Who do you have as your Human Torch?
I got Mr. July. You know, it's hot out. He gets hot. The bat gets hot. It's Hoagie Fest. Got Kyle F. and Schwarber.
I like that. I'm going to go, ironically enough, I'm going to go to the ice. And I'm going to take Travis Konechny is my Human Torch. He is a hothead. He can get yapping. But he also makes fire type plays on the ice. He's been a face of this team. He's been around and gets you fired up and flyered up all at the same time. I'm gonna go Travis Konechny as my Human Torch to get things a little spicy out there for the people and on fire with our Philly Sports Fantastic Four. Jacob, we are going to the thing. Now, we were talking about this pre-show. I had somebody, we were both on the same page. I'm going to default that person to you. I'm also going to change my pick that I discussed pre-show. That way I kind of have somebody from each team per se of the major four. But I also have an honorable mention for the thing that I'm not going to pick that I'm going to mention here. And it's Andre Blake from the Philadelphia Union. Just a brick wall in goal for the Union. Has been a staple of the team for a long time. And I think he aligns with just being a strong back-end force for the Philadelphia Union in goal for them. So Andre Blake, honorable mention for the thing. But the thing, he's a brick, giant stone, strong, powerful, forceful. I got to go Joel Embiid.
Yep, I was right.
He's the big man. And he's got the force, the ability to be strong, powerful, just like the thing. So I'm going to go Embiid. Initially, I had Lane Johnson, which I would also not argue one bit about being the thing on a Philly Fantastic Four roster. But Jacob, let the people know who you're going with for your the thing.
I'm going with quite the obvious pick, Jordan Mailata. I don't think I have to explain that pick.
You know why I like that pick a lot? Not only from just like the strong, powerful presence that Jordan Mailata is, I feel like personality-wise, Jordan Mailata and Ben Grimm, who is the human ego, like alter ego of the thing, they align in a lot of ways. So I really do like that pick, and that was my initial pick for who I was going to go with for the thing. But Jordan Mailata, I think, is a slam dunk pick there. So my Fantastic Four lineup: Jalen Hurts, Trey Turner, Travis Konechny, Joel Embiid. Jacob, you have Bryce Harper, Callum Scott, which caught me for a loop, and that was so creative. Kyle Schwarber is your Human Torch, and the thing is Jordan Mailata. I like it, and like I said, you guys can leave your Fantastic Four Philly sports lineups in the YouTube comment section, in the Apple Podcast reviews. Leave a 5-star review, or you can leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia. I would also say, to get the other teams involved, like I said, with Andre Blake being the thing, I think Michael Sowers would be a great Mr. Fantastic from the Philadelphia Water Dogs. Kira McCardle could also fall into that line of thinking. The Human Torch, Mitch Jones from the Philadelphia Wings. The thing could also be Blaze Reardon. Brick wall goalie also goes out and is a force playing forward in the NLL for the Wings. There's a lot of picks and a lot of people that we weren't able to select here. So let us know your Philly Sports Fantastic Four lineups wherever you decide to leave them. But this was fun. I gotta ask Harrison to do his now too, because I'm sure he'll get a kick out of this for sure. Which something you'll get a kick out of and something that is a ton of fun. You want to talk about team ups. Our Underground Circuit watch party is coming up this coming weekend at the F1 Arcade in Philadelphia on Sunday, August 3rd. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a ton of fun. Casey and Owen are doing a live recording of Underground Circuit from the F1 Arcade immediately after the Grand Prix comes to a close. The Hungarian GP, Sunday, August 3rd, 9 a.m. is lights out. Away we go. That's when the race starts. We'll all be at the arcade hanging out. The simulators will be open to drive on and have some fun there. The food is out of this world at the F1 Arcade as well. Let me tell you guys, having been there for the F1 movie premiere, it is just one of the coolest spots in Philadelphia now. One of the coolest new spots out there. But Sunday, August 3rd, use the link in the description to get your general admission ticket, and you get 25% off your ticket when you use code Underground25, spelled exactly how Underground Circuit spells it. No vowels except for the beginning U. It's linked in the description. Get your GA ticket for 25% off so you can come hang out. Casey, Owen, myself, Jacob will be there. CFO Margie will be there. It's going to be a ton of fun. And like I said, Casey and Owen doing a live recording of Underground Circuit immediately after the Hungarian GP on Sunday, August 3rd at the F1 Arcade in Philly. Jacob, we brought up Andre Blake. We brought up the Philadelphia Union. They continue to be the best goddamn team in Major League Soccer. They are on fire. They obviously their last game against the Houston Dynamo on July 19th, they kind of got shafted by the referees in that one for sure. But they bounced back Saturday with a massive 3-1 win over Colorado at home at Subaru Park, which is a beautiful way to end their July schedule. They have a friendly against Eintracht Frankfurt on Saturday, August 2nd at Subaru Park before they get back into MLS play the following Saturday on August 9th at home against Toronto. And then the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinal that got rained out against the New York Red Bulls is August 13th at Subaru Park as well. But they end the month of July with their games played at the top of the Eastern Conference, 1 point clear of Cincinnati, 3 points clear of Nashville. And they're the best team in Major League Soccer by points. They're the only team with 50 points. They continue to deliver just game in and game out. They have the best goal differential in the Eastern Conference, best goal differential actually in all of Major League Soccer. They're at a plus 19 goal differential. That's why I said Andre Blake is the thing, Jacob. They've only surrendered 19 goals this whole year. Or, I'm sorry, 19 goal differential. They've surrendered just 24 goals this whole year, which is by far and away the fewest. Nashville is the only team that's close, and they've surrendered 26. But they are just playing a brand of soccer. And I know I've said this a ton this year when we talked about the Union. They are a team that, like, 2022 when they went to the MLS Cup final, I was like, this team rocks, and it sucks that they lost the final. I didn't know if this team had another gear to kind of like reset and retool from that after kind of the couple of down years where, like, 2023, they still finished in fourth. They were a very good team, but they took a step back. Last year, they were one of the worst teams in the league. They only had 37 points all season long. A lot of injuries, a lot of weird stuff happened last year. It was kind of a weird year for them. But to bounce back from being towards the bottom of the table in the Eastern Conference to being the number 1 team in all of Major League Soccer this year with a year 1 manager in Bradley Carnell, who has this team playing out of their minds. You know, they've only lost 5 times this year. They have 5 draws, 15 wins, which is the most in the Eastern Conference, tied with Cincinnati for most in MLS. I don't want to like put the unprecedented expectations on it, but like it goes along with the narrative, Jacob, and you'll enjoy this. 2022 Eagles, Phillies, Union all go to their respective championship, unfortunately lose. Just a dagger of a year in Philadelphia sports. 2025 is here. The Eagles win the Super Bowl against the team they lost against. Phillies, still one of the best teams in the National League and in baseball. Union, best team in Major League Soccer. It's shaping up that like 2025 might go down as like year of revenge in Philadelphia sports potentially.
I love it, but I don't think the Astros are going to be in the World Series. So
I don't think they are either, but like I can't sleep on them because like they've really turned their season around and like
true.
have like been a very, very good team this year. But man, does it feel like it's good. And like I'm not saying LAFC is getting to the MLS Cup final. Yeah, they're middle of the table in the West, but it's feeling like 2025 could potentially go down as like revenge season of all revenge seasons if everything plays out the way that like we hope and pray it does.
Yeah, it would be nice in Philadelphia again. 3 different team championships. It would be really nutty.
And I will say, 2022, before they were a Philadelphia team, the Water Dogs got the job done and they won the PLL title. Just saying. They got the job done in 2022.
So does that mean the Water Dogs aren't going to get the job done this year? That means that.
Not necessarily true because they fulfilled the PLL prophecy where every team that's won a title has never not gone back to the championship. And then they ended up losing the championship by 1 in 2023.
Gotcha.
So like they carried over the doom of Philadelphia sports the following year. But I'm just saying, like, the way that the Phillies and the Union and the Eagles last season have played and what the Eagles are like setting themselves up to do this year, you know, with all the new pieces and just another year of this core. These 3 teams in particular, and like the Sixers are like in their own little bubble over here. I'm not like worried about them. Like let them kind of just like play with their toys and do what they got to do. The Flyers are like on the up and up of like their rebuild, and they're like really focusing in on being a team that will compete for more than just a season after a rebuild. They're setting themselves up for like decades long success.
Yeah.
But like this little triangle of success from the Eagles, the Phillies, and the Union is wildly fun to watch because it's 3 different fan bases all in the same city, but all are so similar in so many different ways. Like, obviously, like, not everyone is an Eagles fan that's a Phillies fan or a Union fan. Not everyone's a Phillies fan that's an Eagles fan or a Union fan. And a lot of people are not Union fans because soccer is not as popular in the States as it is in Europe and everything. But I say it time and time again, give this Union team a watch. They're extremely fun. But, like, it's so funny when these 3 teams in particular, because their seasons do overlap in such a strange way, that like everyone starts like putting the goggles on and being like, oh, let's pay attention to the Union. Let's see what they can do. And like this era of these 3 teams over the past 3-4 years now of their like rise of success all happening at the same time is not a normal thing in Philadelphia sports. Normally it's like one team is good. The other team is like, you know, they're in the mix, but they're not great. And then the other couple teams are just like down at the bottom of the table. To have 3 of your 5 pro teams that are like massive like leagues, and I'm not saying the PLL is not, but like this is just year 2 of them having home city affiliation. So it's not really an ingrained thing. Like the Union have been around since 2008. So there's a lot more just like currency of them being a Philadelphia team than the Water Dogs. But to have these 3 teams having this much success all at the same time is something that, like, Philadelphia sports fans, like, even if you're not a Union fan or you're a casual, or you're not a Phillies fan, you're a casual, Eagles fan, you're whatever it may be, enjoy this. Like, we don't get this all the time.
No.
And that's what I try to tell people with the Phillies in particular. Like, not every game has to be treated like a football game. It's not the NFL. Baseball is a long season. It's a totally different way of approach. This team is so good. Enjoy it. The Eagles, they are so good. Enjoy them. The Union, they are really, really, really fucking good. Enjoy them. Even if you're casual, just support them. Like, that in and of itself does wonders for a team in your city. If you just support when they are successful. I know it comes across as bandwagony or fair weather. It's a positive thing to support a team when they're good. It's cool to have it's the more the merrier kind of mindset. And when you have three teams like this that are showing consistently dominant, success, and teams that are always in the mix and mentioned in championship talks all the time, I beg and plead with you as Philadelphia sports fans that listen to this show, enjoy it, embrace it, and just be part of it. Be part of the mix. Go out and go to a game. Go out to a bar and watch it with your friends. Go out to a tailgate, whatever it may be. Enjoy this era of success we're enjoying, because it doesn't happen that often. It's fun. It's why we're sports fans. To be able to root for our teams this way is why we're sports fans. Enjoying the successes, living and dying with them, and going through the roller coasters of their seasons is why you love sports. It's why Jacob and I love sports. It's why Harrison loves sports. It's why anyone becomes a sports fan. Because at the end of the day, you can all come together, win, lose, or draw, and you all are rooting for a common purpose. And that's what makes sports beautiful, everyone. And that was one hell of a poetic way to end this episode, okay? That's how it's done. But all of our Union talk there. Their next game, August 2nd. I might have to pop out to that. My parents are going to be at a graduation party. That's the only day of that weekend I'm not doing anything, and I'll probably regret going and doing something, but maybe, just maybe, I'll head out to Subaru Park and take in a Union game. And there's no better way to enjoy a nice little Union tailgate than with our friends at Bino. Guys, it's the next big tabletop game for your man cave, your she shed, your tailgates, your parties. You break out a Bino board, you are going to be the talk of your event. It's paper football meets foosball in the next big tabletop game flicking experience. Guys, it feels like every week they're dropping like a new custom board that's available for purchase. They've got new iridescent player pieces that will look absolutely dazzling on the blackout boards that they have. The Bino Classic, they've got officially licensed boards for all of your favorite MLS teams, including the Union. Plus they have Premier League, Serie A, and so many other boards that are officially licensed. You can get their boards and accessories, apparel and accessories, and more, and you can learn how to play on their website as well. Use our link in the description to shop with our friends at Bino, and when you go to checkout, use code BinoBennett62. That's code BinoBennett62 to get 10% off your entire order from our friends at Bino. Again, use our link in the description. Use code BinoBennett62 at checkout for 10% off your next order from our friends at Bino. And that is all we've got for you guys on this episode. A very fun one as we talk about success of the Fightins, the Union, Hall of Fame weekend, and so much more. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. Like we mentioned, Thursday, Jacob and I, final couple hours of the trade deadline, we're going to be live reacting to everything that goes down, giving you our pure, just unfiltered reactions to every trade that happens. It's going to be a lot of fun. You won't want to miss it. So follow us on the socials. Subscribe to the pod on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow. Helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia and our entire catalog of podcasts. Also, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. We're 13 subscribers away from our next subscriber milestone. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. Also want to give a shout out to the Savannah Bananas for being at Citizens Bank Park this weekend. They put on an absolute show. I also did not realize that they use yellow bases for their games, which is so sick. But yeah, shout out to the Savannah Bananas. The people that get angry about the Savannah Bananas and everything, you're cowards and you're losers. Get a grip. As always, guys, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And whether you are a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 763 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB for Jacob. Fun one. Enjoy this upcoming series against the White Sox. Let's go get a sweep, boys. Let's make a sweep happen. And keep those eyes and ears peeled on the trade wins because they are a-blowing. It's going to be a wild, wild couple of days that I am very, very excited about. And I also just hate that the Water Dogs got dummied on SportsCenter Top 10 Plays. The number 2 play was Mark Lassini launching a beyond half-field 2-bomb. That's brutal. Brutal for the brand. Brutal for the – no, shout out to Glick. That was an unbelievable play. Episode 763 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. For Jacob, I'm KB. We'll catch you guys on Thursday with an episode that will be out in the morning. And then, like I said, live stream on our YouTube channel, reacting to the trade deadline on Thursday afternoon. Don't want to miss it. But until then, we are getting the heck up out of here, and we are signing.